This is Go. Good morning, everybody. 6:30 now on your Friday as we take a live look from Asheville, North Carolina, as Tropical Storm Helene continues north.
You can see that camera shaking there. The now tropical storm made landfall in Tallahassee as a Category 4 hurricane late last night. We know that has since changed, but man, the damage it's left behind is remarkable.
Yeah, and as that sun comes up, I mean, we're going to obviously see the extent of that. Floridians will as well. This storm hit hard just to the east of Tallahassee. Tallahassee went from 0 to 100 in a hurry. Jay Gray was in the thick of it. Jay, what are you seeing this morning in the Tallahassee area?
Yeah, rough ride overnight. You're absolutely right, Matt. You see some of these older oak trees with the moss hanging. Beautiful picture now. They were rocking and rolling last night, and we lost some of them, obviously. They've fallen onto structures, pulled down power lines. Like you said earlier, we'll know more once the sun comes up in a couple hours here and get a better true assessment of the damage left behind. But it's extensive not only here, but across the state. You've got that structural damage we talked about in many areas, and then as you always see with these tropical systems, and Matt, you know this better than most, it's the water that causes the biggest problems, and it's no different for Helene. We've had flooding with that storm surge along the coastline, and then some areas inland saw 12 inches of rain or more, so that's something that's caused significant problems. We saw on just in one county alone, Pasco County, along the 19 corridor, 65 high water rescues overnight, and others carried out in other areas. So that's been an issue, and water getting into places that, frankly, it's never been before. This was an historic storm in the sense that it was the strongest to ever make landfall in the Big Bend area of Florida, and that's saying something. That's an on-ramp for a lot of these hurricanes to move into Florida. There have been 3, including Helene, in just the last 13 months. It was the largest storm we've seen in the Gulf in a century or more, so it's had some staying power as well. And I think when you look at this storm, that's what's so striking. I mean, it was still a 1 when it moved into Georgia. It's a tropical storm now. It's going to cause problems through Georgia, through the Carolinas, Tennessee, Kentucky. Into the weekend, Matt. This isn't over by any means.
And Jay, the amazing thing to me is it's so calm behind you. You just went through it last night, and now it's calm. You'll have sunshine to start the day. I mean, you can go for a walk, get a coffee, and like nothing happened.
Or maybe get a little sleep. But no, you're absolutely right, Matt. It's amazing the difference a few hours will make. I mean, we had things blowing everywhere and moving around, the wind and the rain was going sideways. And now it's smooth as it can be, but that's the nature of these things once they move through.
Yeah. Well, Jay, thanks for being on the boots to ground for us. Please get some sleep. You've been working some long hours from Tallahassee. Thank you, Jay. All right, in terms of our forecasts, here's what we're dealing with. Tropical Storm Helene, winds are at 70 now. The wind isn't as much of an issue. I say that from Ohio, right? But it's not as much of an issue as it was last night. This is more of a heavy rain, and I'm talking super heavy rain and flash flooding risk, especially for the mountainous terrain in the Carolinas. It'll start to move out towards the north, which we've already seen that movement. Then it'll turn northwest, and it'll start to slow a little bit as it gets grabbed into this upper level low out towards the west. Notice it's hanging around the Ohio Valley. That's why we're going to have impacts over the course of the weekend. Where Jay is in Tallahassee, right about here, things clearing out. In fact, they're going to have sunshine this morning as this system is heading off towards the north at rapid speeds. Atlanta about done with us, maybe another hour and a half or so. They've had over 6 inches of rain at Hartsfield-Jackson, and this system's heading up into the Blue Ridge Mountains. Asheville, North Carolina, you said that shot at the top of the show. They're in the thick of the rain right now and the wind. The wind and rain is going to stretch all the way up into Ohio as we get into the afternoon. So let's talk local impacts. We're fine here this morning. Clouds will thicken. Wind will start to pick up, and then yeah, we're dealing with some rain showers around here for your evening commute and your Friday evening football plans. Right now at Hopkins, it's 66 degrees. That dew point continues to slide up. Wind, not too bad. There's a little breeze out there this morning. Temperatures are on the mild side. Dew points are as well, as that humidity is going to be with us all weekend long. It's going to feel pretty tropical. The wind, as I mentioned, will pick up, but it's out of the northeast and easterly direction. This will take Lake Erie's water, almost like storm surge. It's going to pile it up on the western basin, so we'll see Lake lake rise there. Also the waves, we're talking 5 to 10 footers later today and tonight as this envelope of wind comes our way. Worst will be down towards our south, could have power outages down towards Cincinnati. Not here though, we'll have likely breezy conditions into the 30 to 35 mile per hour range. Forecast, there's your rain, there's your temps, and that wind picking up. We're going to take you through your upcoming weekend hour by hour coming up in that forecast.